began tonight covering the breaking news of the day. 2 students shot at LaFleur High School. One of them was hospitalized, the other grazed by the bullet. We have team coverage of the violence tonight. NBC 15's Darwin Singleton has reaction from parents who rushed to the school today to check on their children. We'll start first with NBC 15's Andrea Ramey live at Mobile Police Headquarters. Andrea, you spoke with the police chief this afternoon.
And Kim, the police chief confirms that the suspected shooter, a 16-year-old who ran away from campus after the shooting occurred, was taken into custody this afternoon at a family's home in West Mobile. The chief says that her parents assisted in that apprehension. Chief Paul Prine says the 16-year-old girl fired one shot that hit 2 male students in the hallway during lunchtime today. Prine says the bullet grazed a 15-year-old boy who was the target of the shooting and then hit a 17-year-old in the side or abdomen area, but his injuries, both of them are non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the girl produced the handgun after a verbal argument with the 15-year-old boy, and what that argument was about and where that gun came from is still under investigation.
We've gotten several stories. I am not quite sure, to be frank with you, otherwise I would give you what the motive is. But we've got to corroborate witness statements and the victim statements along with the shooter statement to get to the bottom and try to figure out really what this was about. I cannot imagine between the ages of 15 and 17 that there could have been really real pressing issues for this type of incident to occur.
So we do have the 2 students who are injured. They appear to be fine. I know the principal just talked to one of them on the phone, and so it's just one of those things that you don't want something like this to happen at your school, but you prepare in case it does. And the fact that LaFleur responded in the way that it did, I think that prevented any further injury, and I think that they're to be commended for what they did today.
In a new initiative, the Mobile County Sheriff's Office has been providing armed deputies at public schools in Mobile County, but we are told that an armed deputy was not at LaFleur at the time of the shooting today, but instead was at a different school location. Reporting live tonight in Mobile, Andrea Ramey, NBC 15 News.
Andrea, thank you. It was a terrifying day for parents of LaFleur students. Many of them rushed to the school, not sure if their children were safe. NBC 15's Darwin Singleton continues our team coverage tonight. Darwin, one parent got a distressing call from her child.
And Kim, I wouldn't be surprised if more such stories emerge now that we're past the initial shock of the shooting. But what we saw today at LaFleur was very similar to other school shootings across America. Frantic parents with little information rushing to the school to find doors locked and a heavy police presence. Now, if you were watching our live coverage earlier today, you may have seen and heard some of those parents as they desperately pounded on LaFleur High's front doors, pleading for information about the students inside.
Right now, Darwin, what we have are parents banging on the front door of the school saying, "Let me in, let me in." That's what you're hearing right now. It appears to be a parent.
You can hear the desperation in his voice. And then there were the phone calls. Calls from students inside the school to their parents. Emotional bombshells suddenly dropped out of nowhere, leaving parents with an immeasurable sense of fear and dread. Andrea talked to one such parent who answered one of those calls.
He said they were shooting up here, and he said, "Mama, something going on. They shooting up here." And I can just hear him running. I asked him where he was, and then his phone dropped and the call dropped. I kept calling about 20 times and I couldn't get him. I broke down and started crying. That's my child. That's my baby.
Imagine how frustrating that is. Well, school officials quickly assured us that their staffs train extensively for events like these, and rightly so. But how do you train a parent to keep a level head when he or she fears the worst has happened to their child in a place that's supposed to be safe? If there's one spot tonight, a bright one, Kim, it's that no lives were lost today.
Darwin, thank you. Now, Mobile Mayor Sandy Stimpson also rushed to LaFleur when he got word of the shooting. He says it's time to intensify the conversation of youth violence and that it's going to take a collective effort to make a dent in this escalating problem.
The outrage, the anger of how can this happen? How do we allow it to continue to happen? And, we've said time and again, we can't police our way out of challenges like this. It's going to take the community, it takes the family, it takes the church, and it takes everybody.
Well, Stimson says he has been in talks with Mobile County Superintendent Cressel Threadgill over ways to make schools safer. The Mobile County Public School System put out a statement just a few minutes ago saying they are working with law enforcement to investigate the shooting and that the matter will be handled to the fullest extent of the law. They also commended school personnel and law enforcement for responding to the school so quickly and promised the school system will be reviewing all safety protocols to prevent anything like this from happening again. They go on to say the injured student is speaking with school administrators. NBC 15 News will continue following this story closely. For the latest updates, be sure to follow NBC 15 on Facebook, X, Instagram, and at mynbc15.com.